Motherpluckers, welcome back to another episode of the Night Trap Podcast. Podcast? I always say it all fucking wrong, dude. Podcast. So, anyways, today we have two special guests. We have Vomitorium over here on the left, which is Reggie, of course. And we have new guest, George, right here at the bottom.
What's up, everybody?
So today, it's a very special episode in my heart too, because we're talking about, I think it's a cult classic by now, I don't know if you guys agree, but SLC Punk, which stands for Salt Lake City Punk. So let's just get into it before, just a little bit before. I just want to know how you guys doing in this fucking quarantine, dude.
I started a new job today. What about you, George?
I've been working on and off, but just like a few hours here and there. I've discovered an affinity for warm beer.
Yeah, I mean, a good, like, craft beer when it gets warm, it's probably meant to be
Warm Bush.
Oh no. Yeah.
So according to this movie, we're posers, right?
Everybody's a poser.
Yeah, we're all posers.
Energy UK.
I was just thinking last night when I was watching this movie, dude, because one of my wife's favorite movie right now is Lords of Chaos, and I just realized that it's like the same fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, it is. Same movie with long hair and black clothing, like less plaid.
Yeah, like a best friend dies, like it has like a lot of the same beats, like partying, fucking, all the same shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
what'd you say it was, Chreep? It was the SLC Punk for the metalheads.
Yeah, it's the SLC, because SLC Punk came first. So if it was the other way, it'd be the other way. But I mean, who knows? There might be a fucking movie out there where it's all like hippies and shit, and this is the same shit. I don't know, dude. I haven't
Easy
seen
Rider.
Yeah. But
I think the hippie, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
that's the same as the Science of Sleep, isn't it? Same shit. Anyways, so I want to know first, before we get into the movie, where and when did you guys see this movie for the very first time?
I think George here introduced me to the movie. We saw it at a friend's house, or the friend that stole his copy of the tape showed it to me.
I rented it. You remember when you used to rent movies like at Blockbuster or like Hollywood Video? I rented it on VHS. I got all into it, and like a few weeks later, I bought it at PacSun. And then I was just like going around showing all my friends, like, "Hey guys, let's watch this movie." I took that movie way too much to heart.
Did it happen the same way to you guys, that like when you watched it for the first time, you like got really into like being a punk or whatever? But I think that when we saw it, I don't know if you guys, but when I saw it the first time, I fucking, like you said, I took this movie to heart, but I was like doing the wrong idea of this movie, because at the end of the day is about being a fucking, how like being a punk doesn't really work, like anarchy doesn't really work, it's kind of stupid, it's a stupid idea. But I think that when we saw it for the first time, we were like, oh fuck yeah, anarchy.
No man, we got destroyed from the inside.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I was totally a poser kid who went around drawing anarchy symbols everywhere, but I don't think I ever really like believed in anarchy. The movie did introduce me to a lot of like amazing music, and I was familiar with like the Misfits and NoFX at that time, and I was like getting into punk.
I mean, at the time when the movie kicks in with that Fear song.
Yep.
And I just remember like that little guitar riff for, I love living in the city. And I was just like...
Actually, the first song that comes out is Sex and Violence, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, Sexy Colors.
Yeah.
Dude, George, because it sounds like saying... What's he saying again, George?
It sounds like he's saying sex and violence, but it sounds like he's saying sexy fellas.
Yeah, sexy fellas.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, it was really cool. Like when I was watching it earlier, like refreshing on it, it was cool how like the opening credits were like doing like some kind of like tributes to like classic album covers.
All the album covers.
To like 45s and shit. That shit was fucking cool.
Haven't seen the movie in like almost 10 years that I haven't seen the movie, and I watched it yesterday. It's actually still a pretty good movie.
Yeah, dude.
It is, dude. Dude, it was doing the Family Guy shtick before Family Guy was doing it. Because if you notice, the first half of that film is just flashbacks.
Yeah, and Steve-O talking is he's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
well, and it's like the Ferris Bueller thing, no? Like we're talking to the talking to you. Yeah, that shit was cool, dude.
Yeah, and then sometimes they would do like flashbacks within flashbacks.
Oh yeah, like when he's talking to his dad about his dad and his mom are talking to Steve-O about going to Harvard.
Yeah,
and ironically, which is like one of my favorite parts of the movie too, is that at this point, Steve-O had just graduated high school.
He's turning 18. Right? Yeah, he just turned 18.
Yeah, dude. That's like the big fucking blue mohawk.
You finished high school. Thank God. Now it's your time to do good. This rebellion thing you're going through, I understand it. Not completely, but I respect it. Now you should think about what is right for you.
And then later on in the movie, to take you through where like the movie started, he had just graduated college. I don't know how many punk rockers actually finished college. I'm not like a real thing. But he's in the living room talking to his like Harvard alumni, educated father, who's obviously well off because you can see like the house is really nice. He's in a really nice living room.
Well, doesn't he have a porch or some shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
a Volkswagen.
You are Jewish. Volkswagen.
For the people. He always says for the people. He's like,
when it pans over to Shooter McGavin, I forget the actor's name, but when it pans over to Shooter McGavin, you see like this beautiful Salt Lake City fucking mountain landscape behind. Obviously telling you that Steve-O came from a really, really nice household. Whereas Hera and Bob came from like a shithole.
Yeah.
It doesn't really tell very much about where Steve-O and Bob came from, but Bob.
No, because Steve-O was trying to be like Bob, dude.
Yeah, right. So, was Bob like the only real punk in that movie, or?
Well, dude, it's the same as in Lords of Chaos because Euronymous was like this rich kid that liked fucking Euro dance music or whatever, but he wanted to be like fucking Varg, dude. Which he was like the one that was like poor. Well, he wasn't poor. They were all rich. I think maybe Did was the one that was like just like mentally unstable or whatever. But it's kind of the same shit, dude. That's why I was like putting one together.
I have to say, Bob was like the OG, like ground zero of the punks. But I have to say, what I really liked about the movie is how like when Bob introduces Steve-O to like punk rock music, it's Generation X, which is like arguably like their generation's Green Day.
What is it? Yeah, what is it, Bob? It's new.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Like, I really like that they went with that.
Nice date for a white wedding, man.
At the very end, no, when they're like, dude, D&D's for pussies.
Yeah. Rush, like their music is very intricate and precise,
Yeah, like when he goes like, but you're a level 7 mage, man. Like,
these are going great for you. But no, like I really like that they went with like kind of like a poppy song that was like sort of cheesy because
it was
a lot
very
of people
believable.
were introduced to it.
Yeah,
that's very believable that's like the song that these dudes would be getting into punk rock to at the time.
Yeah,
it's like for myself, it was god awful bands like Face to Face and and Sam I Am and No Effects and what else?
None of those bands are god awful.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
There was a lot of Fat Records compilations and Epic Records
Or the
compilations
Ataris.
and Kung Fu Records compilations.
To me,
and Nitro Records compilations.
To me,
I
dude,
think
there's a lot of bands that are trash that like I used to fucking love, and I know they're trash, but I'm like, yeah, they used to be cool, dude. Like fucking, what are they called? Like the Dead Kennedys and shit. I like them, dude, but like now knowing.
Oh, the Dead Kennedys. Wait. The Dead Kennedys. That's timeless. That's timeless stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, but like knowing that it's so easy to play their songs, you know, like now knowing how music has evolved is like it's fucking weird. Like now that we can like Propaganda, for example, dude, they became this like intricate fucking band, dude, out of nowhere, and
It's like this pseudo metal punk band.
yeah, dude, and they used to be like the fucking like straight up like pop, kind of like poppy punk, like against the government, you know, kind of thing, and now they're like still against the government, but like it's not more intricate, I guess.
Yeah, like I guess they went like kind of metal.
Yeah,
You know?
because
I mean,
I think that's my theory. Like, the more you progress at your instrument, you just kind of become like this metalhead. And then, like, after that plays out and that gets out of your system, then you discover like lo-fi, and you're like, oh, this is what I like.
Yep.
well, that's why you got to not get better at your instrument.
Yeah.
Dude, do you remember when you used to listen to all those like fucking punk bands back in the day in like a fucking cassette or whatever? And then all of a sudden, like, you discovered fucking music in stereo, dude. And you're like, what the hell? You know, like one guitar is on one ear, dude.
My first foray into music was like ripping songs off of KLU onto like tape. You put the tape on the top of the cassette tape.
It's just fucking recorded.
Yeah.
Record over.
So many Dishwalla songs.
Dude,
Or that one Dishwalla song over and over.
No. It was fucking Dinosaur Jr. and Silverchair.
please Diana, please Diana. But how many times in this movie, dude, did somebody say, "Stop messing with my stereo" or "Don't touch my stereo," dude? Because I feel like it was a lot of
running gag throughout the whole movie, like, "Don't touch my stereo."
It's his stereo.
Let's talk about the fucking actors in this fucking movie, dude, which is Matthew Lillard, which now he looks like fucking Donald Trump. He's so old. Fucking David, what is it? Devin Sawa, which is the fucking acid kid, I guess, the one that gets all fucked up with acid, dude.
Wasn't he Casper also?
Yeah, well, he was at the end of Casper only. I think the voice of Casper was somebody else. But he was in Idle Hands. He's the main character in Idle Hands, dude.
Oh, that's right. I remember that movie too.
And he's the main character in Final Destination too. So, he did something. The last movie he did is a terrible movie. It happened last year, and it's a movie directed by Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, dude. And it's a piece of shit movie, dude.
Wow. Guys, you live in a world where Fred Durst is now directing movies.
Dude, you should watch it because it's so bad it's funny. It's John Travolta, dude, and him. And there's this John Travolta, dude, is like this retard that's like a fanatic of him and just following him everywhere. But he's like a retard, dude. And there's a scene where Devin Sawa is like showing his kid Limp Bizkit, dude, in the car. And then and then he starts going. He's like rocking out, dude, and he tells the kid, "You like the biscuit?" And like he puts it up, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the biscuit, man."
You okay with some music? You like a little Limp Biscuit?
Sure.
You like a little biscuit?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice and loud? I used to listen to this back in the day. This is hot. Oh my God, that is nice. That is nice. Here we go, baby.
It's
promoted in your own movies.
It's terrible.
Rob Zombie does it, right?
Stan Lee used to do it.
No, dude, but Rob Zombie is like nothing compared to this fucking movie, dude. It's fucking horrible, dude. I think it's free somewhere. This movie's not free though. I had to buy this movie. I had to re-buy SLC Punk just to rewatch it. I know you sent me the Crackle thing, but I was like, I had already bought it. I was like $12.
Well, it's free. If anybody wants to watch this movie, it's on Crackle. You don't have to even download the app. You can just watch it in your browser on your phone or on your laptop, and go to Crackle.
Does it have commercials though?
Yeah, I have commercials.
That's the
But,
only thing.
it wasn't on Netflix, so I was just like, well, I'll watch it here.
Well, this movie starts up with basically Steve-O, the main character, Matthew Lillard, kind of showing us how the difference between, the punks from the UK to the punks that are in like Salt Lake City at that moment in time, 1985, I think, or 87, somewhere around there.
84.
No,
Okay.
85.
85.
85?
Yeah. Takes place. It starts off in the spring. In
Over
the
the fall.
summer of 1985, and then Bob winds up in that hospital, and then it picks up in the fall of 85.
Now, sure, there's a lot more punks than there was 4 years earlier, but there was also as many posers. Posers were people that looked like punks, but they did it for fashion. And they were fools. They'd say, "Anarchy in the UK." You see, posers. Anarchy in UK. Fuck's that?
Yeah, that's where they say this is the beginning of the fall of the rest of our lives. I remember that because
I
this
took
movie,
notes.
yeah, this movie's highly quotable. It has a lot of fucking lines that you can remember. To me, the one that I say the most, and that Reggie has heard me fucking say it, is, "This is a laser disc," which I can say. God,
There's more.
yeah,
Wait, there's more.
much more. But
Think
he's
you fool.
Yeah.
Think you fool. That's my favorite.
I think Bob stole my shit.
Steve was basically introducing us to all the different kinds of punks that are in Salt Lake City. Well, his friends basically, and he's calling everybody a fucking poser, which is kind of ironic, for the end of the movie. But
Yeah, that's like I think the whole moral of that story is, which is the beauty of it, which is the best part of
The
that movie.
moral of the story is your youthful idealism is shit.
yeah, like forget everything you fucking you thought you were right when you were a kid. Well, you're fucking wrong.
But you know what? That's conveyed really well in the movie, because like you just got to keep in mind that they're like 22, 23 years old in this movie. Like,
Yeah, the chillin'. I mean, we were all arrogant at that time. I
Dude,
remember like me and George would like get into politics like at like little shitty kickbacks with like our friends, and we would like
oh
insist
man,
that
the
we were
anti-flag shirt incident.
correct.
Dude, I was a fucking dirty ass like skater kid. Like, I wouldn't fucking shower because I would come home after skating, and then next morning wake up, go to school, and then more skate. And I remember like fucking shit up, like thinking I'm a fucking kid, like nobody cares, like thinking that I'm gonna die like at fucking 25 or whatever. So I thought
I have to agree with you, man, because that movie had me believing that I didn't want to live till I was 30. And
Yep.
like, because this movie, I was like, I don't want to live to be fucking 30 years old. And then you get to that milestone, you're just like, fuck, that was so dumb to even think anything like that.
Dude, and then fucking 30 years from now, like now I still have like all these video games and shit. I'm still like a child. It's like,
Yeah, I'm closer to 40 than 30 at this point, and I'm still playing a shitty punk band.
that's how it is,
But
man.
it's
Like,
good shitty. It's good shitty.
I mean, if you love it, you love it.
Only caveat on that, George, the Glitter Tacos are not a shitty band.
Well, I mean, I still fucking okay.
But I don't think so.
I play with good musicians while I play shitty.
I mean, it's debatable what shitty is, like sometimes I think that a band could be like fucking amazing, like technically, dude, but like they're shitty people, and like that makes the band shitty, like it's just like whatever, dude. I don't care, dude. I was in an endless fight for like fucking 6 years. They're still going.
What was the name of that British band that was playing at the show?
Extreme Corporal Punishment. But they were actually called
ECP.
they were from Salt Lake City. $8 Experiment.
Also, they're an actual band, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they were an actual band called $8 Experiment, and I checked out their music like back in the Napster days. I fucking had to track it down, and I downloaded it, and it sucked.
So are you guys playing this down again?
Yeah, I did not like it whatsoever.
All these years later, I bet you if we were to hear that band's demo or EP or whatever it was, I bet you we'd be like, yeah, it was actually all right.
I'll send you the link, and you tell me.
Dude, the link will be down below in the comments.
I think they also came out in SLC Punk too, actually.
Oh my god!
In the fucking crowd or some shit?
No, like they were playing. Like they were playing before Screeching Weasel.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, okay, it wasn't that.
A little later.
It wasn't that bad. It's just I don't know. There was just
dude, that SLC Punk 2 was a grilled cheese sandwich with like 7 different cheeses inside.
Well, but let's not talk about that, dude, because we still have some stuff. Because like Jason Segel, dude, in this fucking movie, I think this is my favorite character that Jason Segel has ever played. Because everything else, he's always Jason Segel in the Muppets, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Right.
He's always the same fucking character, except for this one, dude.
In fact, I remember watching How I Met Your Mother, like years later, and it was like probably one of the first episodes I saw of How I Met Your Mother. And I'm looking at this dude, I'm like, where do I fucking know this guy from? Like, he looks so fucking familiar. Like, where is he from? And I just I remember like it bothered me, and then like months later, I'm like, oh, he was in SLC Punk, dude.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of posers. This kid, he's not a fucking poser. He's not a poser. He looks like a total nerd, right? This guy looks like a geek, but his name's Mike. He's one of the most hardcore guys in the scene. Well, watch what happens. Stay where you are. I'll be right back. This is great. It's my favorite part. Good guy. You see what I mean? Fuck rock! It's fuck rock!
actually, well, if you want to talk about
the squad car jumped out.
If you want to talk about Jason Segel being the same character, in How I Met Your Mother, he's an environmental lawyer, and in SLC Punk, he leaves to Notre Dame
To be, yeah.
plants because he wants to save the plants. So
this is the sequel?
Wait, what's his name again in the movie? Mike? No, Mike's the German guy.
No, I think it is Mike.
Oh yeah, is
Yeah.
it?
I think
So,
so.
like, what's the character's name in How I Met Your Mother?
Marshall.
Mike? Marshall?
Yeah.
I see.
He had to change his identity because of all the windows he broke that one time.
Because he's wanted. He's got like several warrants in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, for
So he
breaking.
moved to New York or Chicago, wherever the show's based.
Dude, that's how I see the character in Good Girls for Matthew Lillard, because he's like married to like this fucking girl, but he's like a car salesman, dude. So I just always imagine that it's like the guy from SLC Punk just grew up and had like 5 kids and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, we also have to acknowledge that Steve-O is probably more well known for being Shaggy.
Yeah, everybody knows him Shaggy, dude.
Or from Scream.
I
from Scream.
think Shaggy more, dude.
The Scooby-Doo movies kind of elevated his star status to that point.
Dude, every
Where,
time that I'm watching a movie with Matthew Lillard or a show, like my daughter walks and she's like, "Is that Shaggy?" Every fucking time.
He was a good Shaggy.
He's what you call snap finger famous, like you're like, hey, who's that guy? Who is that guy? Like, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, I always
We know
imagine him saying that I'll be right back and then just fucking leaves, dude. Remember? From fucking Scream, dude.
He's a good actor though. The dude doesn't get like good roles, or I don't know, man.
Right.
Like that scene when Bob dies, like and he's all fucking.
Oh, dude, heart-wrencher.
Holy posers died.
Yeah, dude, the vein, the snot, everything, man. That shit was fucking good. Like that's a good performance.
I was like yesterday when I watched the movie again for like almost 10 years since I've seen the movie, and I was expecting it not to be as good as I remembered it to be, in my heart and my brain, and then I'm watching it like this movie is beautifully shot. The cinematography is perfect.
Dude, it's like really artsy, dude. It's
The part where they take acid in the park.
Oh yeah, and then they get those like weird cutscenes. Like that's like the way the cinematography recreated like every part of that movie. The scenes with the band.
well, the scene before that, dude, before the acid trip, where he's talking to Devon Sawa's character, that he's a beggar now or whatever. Like that shit. Like now, dude. Now that I'm an adult, that shit's fucking sad, dude. Because I have
seen that situation.
Like I have seen friends, that have been down in their luck, and then you're just like turning your back on them because you don't know what's gonna happen. Like you don't want to fucking help somebody that like was a drug addict.
Get involved, like
Yeah, dude.
But even the scene where he's getting chased by the school cop, and like he's running down the field, and then when the water hits his leg, and
the bones.
He looks down at his leg like, oh shit, my leg got wet, and I have over 100 hits of acid. then it cuts to the knee, and then it has like all the hydrogen peroxide like
going into
like his muscles and his knee. Like, dude, that's great movie.
The cow leg,
man.
Well, and then he's
like what they got from a butcher shop, and they're just like
yeah, dude. That's great. That's good stuff, man.
He fucking sees Satan and shit.
Oh, yeah. And the mom has that dress with the horns.
And
hey,
I
love style, then, man. What's another thing I noticed is how fucking stuck in time Punk style is. Because the way they dressed in that movie. It's totally applicable nowadays. But if you have like metalheads from the 70s, they're all fucking wearing bell bottoms and shit. They're not dressed like that nowadays.
Dude, they got the Converse or the Vans. They got the old man slacks. You got your combat belt with the studs.
The bullet, dude. The bullet fucking.
The bullet belt?
Yeah,
or the what do they call those pants with the zippers and shit? What do you call those?
Bondage pants.
The trap pants?
Bondage
pants? You got the suspenders, all that good stuff. The punk hasn't like really progressed. I literally saw a video before we like got on right now. I was like scrolling through YouTube and I saw a video of Fat Mike. It was called Fat Mike Apologizes to Fans.
I was
like, dude, that's basically the same outfit that Steve was wearing throughout like most of that movie.
All right, where were we?
Oh, you were talking about like if kids nowadays and all that shit, like if they were, it's because like back in my day, dude. I remember, and I was telling Reggie, I remember like true punks, the ones that like they had an apartment with like a lamp and like a shitload of just like beer cans in their house, dude. Like no TV, no fucking nothing, dude. And I used to consider myself a punk, but like I realize now, like I was like, no, dude, like I had everything, dude. Like my mom made me fucking food, all that shit. So I was like, yeah, I was never like a true like punk, maybe in the sense of the lifestyle, but I guess I was a punk just in the sense that I loved, the fucking punk music, and
I don't know. I think that inherent call to poverty to be punk is just kind of like it doesn't work, man.
No, it's not necessarily being poor. It's more of like, well, I choose to not fucking, give my money to corporations for like food or whatever. Like, oh, if somebody's gonna give me food, well, give it to me. I don't give a shit. I'm not paying for it. Yeah, I think it's more of like I don't give a fuck mentality more than being poor. It doesn't necessarily mean being, because there was some like fucking kids at school that like fucking smell like shit. That doesn't mean that they're punk, like whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I think anybody who considers themselves a punk in their own way is a punk. I don't think there's like it's such a broad definition that there's not really like a paint by numbers version.
Yeah,
because Ian MacKay never had a mohawk.
Jason Segel's character, Mike, right?
He's like a nerd.
He was the most hardcore.
Yep. He was probably one of the hardest punks on the scene. And like when there's like the house party and Steve was introducing all the characters, he's all, check this out, and he pushes that little kid into him, and then Jason flips him around, throws him into a wall.
Dude, and you know, in a way, even this fucker, I forgot his name, but the fucking Russian guy, dude. In a way, like, even though Steve says like, oh no, he's not part of the punks, but he is part of the punks, dude. He's like there, dude, all the time.
We've all had that drug dealer.
I still do.
Like, I'll tell you guys elsewhere, but that whole like you stole my shit kind of scenario, I was in that situation once. And it's fucking hilarious to like think about it now, but in the moment it's just like, God damn it, like weed is not worth it. It's not worth this.
Dude, and that guy Chris at the end, the one that's like all Pacific and shit, like he wants to talk about, you know, like love and about like fucking
Death Rock guy.
Yeah, dude. So like that guy, dude, remind me a lot of one of my friends that used to live, like he passed away, unfortunately, but he used to live a couple of houses from mine. And he was like that, dude. Like every time that I had an idea of something like Steve-O had, like, oh, anarchy, like chaos and all that shit, he would fucking bring me down to earth, dude, and tell me like, nah, dude, it's because like, look, like, check it out, like, this is how it works. And it just reminded me so much of that guy, dude. And this guy was like, he was more of a like an industrial metal kind of guy. Yeah. But he used to fucking collect vinyls before collecting vinyls was cool, dude, which is fucking weird to me.
Oh man, vinyl's not cool, guys. I'm gonna say it.
It sounds like shit.
No, it sounds good. It's just like vinyl is vanity.
Yeah, now it come to a point where like you're paying fucking like $40, 35, dude, for like, and that just fucking sucks.
Vinyl is not punk anymore. Like vinyl is bourgeois.
Did you hear us, Reggie? Are you there?
I don't think you can hear me.
I can hear you.
We can hear you, dude. You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the name of the German guy?
I fucking forgot, dude. I mean, you guys have your phones there.
I just watched it today.
I'm the one that has the phone, dude.
But when he's telling the story about how his family died.
Oh, the one about the airplane, dude.
Yeah, dude. And then I saw my mother's head come straight at me,
looking at me, and I wanted to find my dad so bad so I could kick his ass.
Because he lied. He lied. Fuck, what was that guy's name?
I'm gonna look it up. Like, just give me a second. Keep talking.
But he was also in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, he died in that bar scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, poor dude. That might have been one of his like Lieutenant Dan ancestors.
I remember also saw him in that IndyCar racing movie with Sylvester Stallone.
Which
Mark.
one?
His name was Mark, dude.
Mark.
Mark.
That's the perfect drug dealer name there, Mark.
Yeah, because Mike is Jason Segel. He's Mark. Yeah, and then Mark, that scene where they're trying to throw the car into the Salt Lake, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, why doesn't it sink? You're supposed to sink.
I did an internet search to like after I saw the movie, like looking to see if you can actually float a car in the Salt Lake. I couldn't find an answer, yes or no.
Sink. Sink, you fool! Hey, why won't she sink?
Well, it's because it's the Great Salt Lake.
And?
Yeah, dude, there's salt in it. It's like the saltiest lake in the world. It makes things buoyant, you know?
It just floats.
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Sink, you fool! You fucking stupid bastard lake! Sink!
Oh.
What are you trying to do to me, huh?
All right, no. That's
Okay, let's go.
That's enough.
Go, hey!
Come on.
Hey! I'm not done with you!
I think I had seen a while back. I had seen that shit that it was true. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the size of the car or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love the explanation that Bob is like, well, it's the most, it's the saltiest lake in the United States. Like, it makes things buoyant. Just the fact that he knew the word buoyant, dude. And
Yeah, they fucking live there. They should have known that already.
well, and then why didn't he say that shit before they threw the car?
Yeah, exactly. Plot hole.
Throwing a car into the lake for the first time.
I mean, they were probably high as fuck, dude, to tell you the truth. So.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, they were hotboxing the car. They were talking about the underground tunnel from Texas to DC that smuggles UFOs.
Oh, and there's a character too that doesn't come out. He doesn't come out too much, but the guy that likes the ladies. But to me, he fucking sounds like he's a little gay, dude. I don't know why, dude.
He's just classy. He's
just
classy.
sensitive.
No, and they had that whole talk about how like everybody starts shit with him because they think he's gay, and he's all like, half these guys start shit with me not because they have a problem with me, but it's because they want to fuck me.
Yeah.
And it's true, man. Fucking, I gotta say, all the fucking homophobia I see.
Yeah,
dude. It's a good bet that all the homophobes we know just kind of want to suck a dick.
Dude, but I love it when they go into the party and you hear him talking first, and he sees a girl and he's like, I just saw you across and I just had to come talk to you because the universe was telling me to come talk to you.
Yeah, and it probably worked.
And then what's the name of the girlfriend? I think it's Sadie, right?
Which one?
The
Sandy?
first Sandy.
Was
Sandy.
The one that,
Sandy.
no, Sandy was the one that Steve-O was having the open relationship with, or the open relationship.
Yeah.
And then Trish was the one that Bob was dating.
She was the only one that was into Bob, that owned the little head shop, right?
Yeah.
They were all
Brandy
weird.
was the future wife.
And then the little girl, the one that was like 16, that's the only thing that made me a little uncomfortable was that he's like, just like fucking touching her and saying like, look at how beautiful she is and look at it. But supposedly she's like 16 or some shit. And I'm just like
17
still.
I know, you're walking a line there, buddy.
But thinking about it, dude, when I was in high school, I was going out with my girlfriend and I was 18 and she was 16. So I mean, I don't want to.
That's because people did the pop punk.
Yeah.
Pop punk musicians get like a 2-3 year leeway.
Dude, well, before I started losing my hair and getting my beard, dude, I always looked like I was fucking 19, dude, till I was like 25 or some shit.
I mean, no one talks about fucking Tim Armstrong dating Brody Dale when she was like 15 or 16 or some shit. He was in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Tim Armstrong now looks like
about that.
Tim Armstrong now looks like fucking Santa Claus or some shit. But who else? I was well, that girl kind of got crazy at the end because she says that she stopped taking her meds or whatever
because her mother told her.
Yeah, she's just all fucking like crazy. And then the other sister that he has is also fucking crazy. The one that takes a picture of the lightning bolt.
Oh yeah.
She's another
sister.
sister.
Reading the Satanic Bible was.
That was. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Yeah, that's just fucking funny, dude.
I mean, if you've read the Satanic Bible, like the first couple pages are just like there is no Satan. So
yeah, it's fucking stupid. Well,
that's the LeVay Satanic Bible.
Well, have you seen that?
You might have been reading a different one.
Have you seen the documentary? I think it was on Hulu. The one about the fucking satanic fucking church, which is basically like it's just to be a contrarian.
Oh yeah.
That's a good fucking documentary, dude. And I think that's pretty fucking punk rock, dude, for what it is, because they're just saying like religion is bullshit, and if you're saying that you're gonna respect a religion, then you have to respect that we believe in the devil.
Doesn't a lot of that take place in Utah also, with the statue and everything?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Utah hey, wait, we're not going to talk about the devil documentary if we're not going to talk about SLC Punk 2.
SLC Punk, motherfucker.
SLC Punk 2, man.
Oh, shit. I haven't seen this shit. Reggie told me that it was a piece of garbage. That's what he told me. I haven't fucking... Oh, you guys fucking changed.
It's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. And the people who moderate that page on Facebook banned me.
Well,
I'm
what-
still blocked. I actually checked today.
I didn't even get as far as to even attempt to like join their Facebook group. But
No, 'cause I was stoked. I was stoked when I heard that there was going to be a second one, you know, because the first one resonated so much with me.
right,
I
right.
was like, hey, you know, it might be something different, and you know.
dude, and every time I watch SLC Punk,
You get like halfway through the movie, man, because it was just like so bad. Dude.
every time that I watch this original, the SLC Punk, the original, I learn something new, dude. Like it brings me something like because as we become older, I think we understand like new shit about it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just like the stuff resonates even harder, and you're like, oh, okay. Like I get it. You guys are
Like-
all fucking focused.
Like I wonder how is it gonna resonate like if somebody fucking like dies, you know, like in our fucking presence, dude, you know, like it's gonna be like, ah shit, dude, you're a fucking poser. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that shit, dude. I'm probably gonna be preoccupied with other shit. But okay, so with SLC Punk, I mean, we all agree, and it's actually a Sony Pictures classic now. So
Oh, wow.
so it's it's a classic movie. I think that it holds up, even though it happens in the '80s. You don't see too much of that '80s thing, except for the mods. They're the ones that look fucking '80s as hell, and the new waivers or whatever.
Because more now watching the movie, like recently, was that there was mods. In
Yeah.
Salt Lake, in 1985.
I like it. I like what he's.
And well, it was Italia scooters and everything, dude. Like that blows my mind, dude.
I like it when Devin Saw was like, "Why don't you get in your little cycle and ride away, please ride away."
No, and then they're buying acid off of him. Like they're buying acid off of him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then one
And
guy's
they're
like,
like,
"We got you out tonight. We're gonna kick your ass. Let's finish this business transaction." It's just like, what the fuck?
Because they had like don't they have like a feud with everybody? It's like the fucking punks beat the shit out of the rednecks. The fucking like it has like a fucking line, like a circle of life kind of thing.
Rednecks kicked the shit out of punks. Punks kicked the shit out of mods. Mods kicked the shit out of skinheads. Skinheads took out the heavy metal guys, and heavy metal guys beat the living shit out of new waivers. And the new waivers did nothing. They were the new hippies. What was
And I
But
thought it was funny that they put punks in the second tier.
When he saw him acid, he tells the other dude, "Hey, your mom's still taking us to soccer practice, right?"
Oh yeah. So he gets that's when he fucking loses his shit because that's when he runs away. Yeah, but it's the rednecks beat the punks. The punks beat like who was it?
Metalheads.
No, the metalheads are at the end almost.
Punks beat up the skinheads.
Oh, yeah.
Skinheads beat up the metalheads, and the metalheads beat up the new waivers because they were the new hippies. And the
I
new
think
hippies-
you're missing the mods though, because I think it was the skinheads to the mods. The mods beat up the metalheads. The metalheads beat up the fucking new waivers, and the new waivers don't do shit.
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, I'll put the fucking clip.
Ultimately, the new waivers didn't do shit.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
ultimately, the new waivers are the ones that are not fucking. Because redneck still exists. Metalhead, I don't think there's any mods. Maybe the mods are the hipsters now. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Ironically, in 2020,
What?
the new waivers took over everything. Because everyone's into Boy Harsher and all that stuff.
No, dude, I think that in 2020, it's like a fucking amalgamation of everything, dude. Like, bands are now like, oh, well, I'm punk with fucking synth, like 80s new wave. It's fucking weird, dude. I don't know what the fuck.
Everybody sounds like a cross between a fucking Emperor and The Cure.
Can't get any more emo. So okay. So we all agree that this shit's a fucking classic and shit, dude.
Absolute
yeah.
classic.
So I want you guys to tell me before you Reggie until George comes back. Why is SLC Punk 2 so horrible?
Wait, what?
SLC Punk 2 so horrible, dude.
Dude, the movie is cheesy. Like they kind of recreate like some scenes from like the original movie, but like when you watch a Sony Picture Classics movie, and it's like recorded on really nice film, has like a dope script and dope camera angles. This looks like it was like recorded like on like entry level DSLR camera. the script is horrible. The movie's cheesy and unbelievable. They try to recreate the feel too hard.
Is there any known actors, dude, in this fucking movie?
I don't remember there being any known actors. Are any of the original cast in the new movie, George?
The part 2?
Yeah.
Like, I think like a third of them. Like, yeah, like the mod guy is a black metal dude. And he's an awful black metal dude. Like, he's wearing a white shirt, for starters. And then Mark comes out, actually, the drug dealer.
Yeah.
He has like a limo.
That's the one I remember. Like, he comes out in the movie. That's it.
It sucks. It just like really fucking sucks.
But does it suck so much that it's like funny and shit, or it just fucking sucks? Like,
I mean, like, I watched the entire thing, but I hate watched it. Like,
if you want to watch it, you just become angry.
Yeah,
And,
like, I was talking shit the entire film.
so it's like maybe watch the second one first, and then make your own opinions if you haven't watched the first one.
You know what SLC Punk 2 is?
And the second one never happened.
SLC Punk 2 is Jerry Only singing for the Misfits.
So it's shit.
Yeah, take it that way. How do you feel about Jerry Only singing for the Misfits?
It just feels like an old man that doesn't want to let go, dude.
Jerry Only without Doyle.
Yeah, even that.
When he's Jerry Lonely, dude. Like, I'm telling you, dude.
Jerry Lonely?
It's Jerry Lonely, dude, because that fucker just doesn't want to let go, dude. It's like, come on, you're making millions of dollars with your fucking trademark. Just leave it, dude. You don't have to do new shit.
I remember watched the Misfits documentary, and like, they're just Jersey dudes, man. It's like Jersey Shore dudes, man. They're just like Italian greaseball dudes.
It's Goodfellas with guitars?
Fucking meatheads, no? It's meatheads. It's like Jersey Shore guys with fucking dreadlocks.
They're just Jersey dudes with like suntan, fist
Gin
bump.
tonic laundry, dude. The fucking.
It's our Jersey Shore, dude. For real, dude.
But anyway, all right. So I guess SLC Punk 2 sucks. I remember they announced that shit and whatever, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, but I guess I just forgot about it.
Okay. I will say something positive about SLC Punk 2. What's the guy's name who plays Bob?
Like from SLC Punk from the first one?
Michael something with a G.
Let me see. I have it already.
Well, anyways, the guy who plays Bob, he reprises his role as Bob, but he's a ghost and he narrates it.
Oh no, that's
no, but he does his part well. Like, he channels the Bob character really good. Like, he does it good.
Michael A. Gorgian is his name. Dude,
Like,
look at that fucker, dude. He doesn't look like Bob.
Damn. He looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
For real, dude. What the hell? I think Reggie left us, dude.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be. But that's fucking crazy. Oh yeah, I think I had heard something about Bob being a fucking ghost on it, and a lot of people being excited about it.
Yeah, no, and he does his part well. Like, he wears the Bob outfit, and he's a ghost, and he's like, what? I'm just gonna give a spoiler because the movie sucks.
Who cares,
dude?
dude?
Save anything for people. But the movie's pretty much just about Bob's son. Apparently, he knocked up Trish before he died.
What the hell? I mean, that it would make sense because they were like super in love by the end of that fucking movie.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to think that all that shit happened in one season, right? Just that fall.
Well, the summer fall, but mostly fall.
Because it did. That's another thing that I really liked about SLC Punk, that it did feel like that to me at one point when I was going to parties like that, like, like basement parties, whatever. I used to have friends that had a fucking fight club, for God's sakes, and shit. Always getting drunk every weekend, going to get drunk every weekend, going into getting fights. every
Yeah.
weekend, you know, the same shit. It started getting fucking tiring. And I started feeling like Steve-O was feeling in the fucking movie, like I just want to find something else. Like we always do the same shit.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it's not like necessarily cheesy. You know, it's that's why it's kind of like it's a relatable movie, you know? Like when you watch it as a kid, somehow you knew you were inevitably going to become Steve-O.
Yeah, it's just like you're either going to have to find a job like
Or die.
look, yeah,
you
look.
become Steve-O or Bob.
Yeah, like when I grew up, I thought I was a punk, you know. Maybe I was for what it's worth. I wasn't shitty ass bands. I you know, like I was playing with my fucking trash can cymbals and shit. Like I had like a bunch of trashy ass shit, whatever. But then like growing up after high school, going into college, I started working at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
And not because I liked the fucking store. It was more because it was necessary for me to live, to just fucking whatever job I could find, I had to do it. So I had
Their
to.
jeans fit nice.
We have Reggie back. Yo,
There we go.
where'd you go, bitch?
I'm using these AirPods, right? And one died the first time we were going through this. So then I switched over to the other one, and I let the other one charge. And apparently you can turn off the meeting by hitting the button. So
Fucking poser.
Only posers leave the chat or leave the Zoom chat or whatever it's called.
Only posers stay in quarantine forever. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. You know, but I think like the movie's fucking great, but I think the soundtrack is like where it really fucking like stands out.
Where it shines.
Yeah, like they did really good on that soundtrack. Like
it's like
every song on that's a banger.
Like the Ramones, the first time you hear the Ramones on a soundtrack, at least for me. Of course, you know, The Exploited was on there, and Fear, and
What's weird to me is that like all these movies, and I think this other movie that I'm just about to mention is a Sony Pictures too, but it's like almost always like all movies that we love are like period pieces. Like this one's from like the 80s or whatever. But another movie that I really like is Detroit Rock City, which is like from the 70s and shit. It's fucking weird that we always like love eras that we didn't get to live.
Yeah, and you know the cool thing is that like in 5 years they're gonna start making movies of like 2003, 2002. You know?
oh yeah,
Of like pop punk and like fucking Sum 41 and the Blink and shit.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, dude.
Some fucking kids are gonna be all like, "Fuck, they had the jams back in the day."
the same plot for Detroit Rock City, but they're trying to see AFI.
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And they have-
AFI is in their no makeup phase.
No, but they have that fucking band. They have that band. You know how like they had Mystery as a band. Like they're gonna be, you know, the Despair Faction or whatever, but fucking singing like horribly and shit.
Black Sails.
Yeah, dude. Black Sails.
Oh, how Abraham was getting all mad the other day when we were making fun of AFI and from Automatic.
Oh, like the bastard band that parades as AFI nowadays.
Yeah. No, but like I mean, like that Blondie song "Dreaming," like that's a fucking great song. I fucking love it. It's the first time I ever heard the Dead Kennedys, like straight up, fucking "Kill the Poor."
What Kenny song is in it? I don't even
Kill the
remember.
Poor.
Oh yeah, kill the poor.
That's
It's one of the best Dead Kennedy songs that no one has covered.
that's the
Have you
first
ever
time
heard of Kill
that
the Poor cover?
Everyone covers, you know,
Holiday in Cambodia. Fucking,
Yeah.
Drunk to fuck.
Yeah. But no one does Kill the Poor.
this is the first time that I heard of the fucking Fear, which is the fucking the
That song they got banned from Saturday Night Live. It was like their one and only performance, like in 1981 or something.
John Belushi got them on.
Huh?
John Belushi got them on SNL.
John Belushi got them on and
Yeah.
invite all these punks. They
Yep.
destroyed this.
dude, and Steve band like I used to have a fucking van like Steve-O fucking had, and I used to love that shit because I could take, all my equipment. I could take all my friends. It was all shitty. So we had like drinks in the back. It was a fucking party bus, dude. Like, I love that fucking van, dude. It looks fucking, and it had like the spray painted on the side, the fucking black flag and shit, dude.
Yeah, Black Flag, Subhumans. I think they had a crash symbol. I'm not sure.
Maybe. It was cracked for sure though.
It probably is, dude. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of like punk rock trophy references. Like there's a crucifix reference right behind you, Chris.
Yeah.
Remember, and also I really love that scene where he shows the fucking the ladies that fucking 666 tattoo.
Oh yeah.
On the ass. Because they're like aliens or whatever in Wisconsin. Wyoming.
The guy who played like
They went to get beers out of Wyoming.
Yeah. The guy's face when he sees them, when he's like at the counter and then he turns and his like face gets all like big and shit. Man, that guy should have won an award just for that.
He's like,
who let you boys out of the state institution?
Let's be real. The actor that probably did that was probably like just a real dude that they're like, hey, you kind of look like you would fit this part of this movie. Are you interested? Here's like $150 or something, whatever they pay.
Just have an actual reaction to.
Yeah, it's like a natural reaction.
Yeah.
What the hell are you? We come from the east in search of the Messiah. We follow that big star.
Yeah, we bring gold and frankincense, myrrh.
Myrrh.
You do what?
Follow the star.
Oh, my God. Who let you boys out of the State Institute? We better get you boys back in the hospital.
No. It's all right, man. We're from England.
England?
Yeah, that's right. That's probably why we seem so weird to you, man.
England, huh? Well, that explains it, I guess.
Dude, and I used to know a lot of punks like that were like that, thought that they were tough and shit and whatever, and they used to listen to like fucking Crass probably like 24/7, dude, because that's the only band they knew. But it wasn't really that I didn't really get into punk like straight up until I started playing, in punk bands and shit, and like started skating around and doing all this shit. And I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this fucking, you guys are probably gonna remember this venue, dude, but No Man's Land,
yeah,
version one, dude, like the very first No Man's Land.
But hey, Chreep, did you ever finish that fight?
Yeah, no, it's endless, bro. It's fucking endless, bro. No, but the first time that we fucking played at No Man's Land, which I think was the very first show there, dude, when we played the first time, I think it was like a back to school bash or some shit. And the kids got fucking crazy, dude, with us, with an endless fight, dude, and they were like fucking doing like a circle pit and all that shit, dude, and that shit felt fucking great.
How do you bring that up? Like when me and George started going to shows, I remember my mom would drop me and George off in front of Cantina La Tuya.
The same as me, bro.
And I just remember like when we would go to shows back in that day, and we were 16, 17, 18, whatever.
14.
Freshman
year. We started going freshman year, 14.
We're babies, right? We're babies, and we're like in there. We're getting wild. We're getting into it. We're having a great time. And now I see shows today, and I don't see like that same passion.
No, dude, people are not fucking like moshing as much. They're not fucking crowd surf.
It's like just a lot of that.
It's because there's no kids at the shows either, man. Fucking, where are the 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds?
Dude, wait, look. I think that's kind of bullshit, though, that, like, there's no kids, because, let me tell you a quick story, dude.
Right.
when I was in college, dude, I was still trying to fucking go around, be a punk, whatever. I knew this guy Juan, and he was all
inside.
Yeah, dude, he was all full of fucking AFI tattoos all over, dude. He loved AFI. He's the one that fucking introduced me to like psychobilly, dude. I had never heard psychobilly in my life. He showed me that shit. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool, whatever. The Creep show where with the original singer was gonna play at fucking what was it, dude? It was at Zenmeister's, and for some reason, the day of the show, they fucking moved the show to Zeppelin's, which is lowbrow, right? They moved it, dude, and nobody knew because it was that day of the show, except for Juan for some reason. So I was gonna go to the show with him. So when we went to the show, dude, it was me, Juan, and his girlfriend in the crowd. There was nobody else, dude. So the Creep
drinking Bud Light.
Yeah, dude. So the Creep show started fucking playing, dude, and we were fucking pissed drunk, dude. We were drunk as hell, dude. And we were having the greatest fucking time at that show. We were moshing. It was only me and Juan moshing, to the point where, like, when they stopped playing a song, the singer was like, hey, you guys be careful with that fucking bottle, like that beer bottle that's in the middle of the whatever. And I was like, fuck you. And I fucking kicked the bottle, dude, into the wall, dude. Like, come on, dude. We were having, like, a shitload of fun.
I remember me and George went to a show, and we encountered this band for the first time. They were called the Short Bus Racers. Remember them? and everyone was like a little older, right? And they were like too cool for school.
They were army dudes. They were army dudes.
Yeah. But I mean, like the crowd in general, because the band was there. They were army dudes playing. But like everyone was like too cool for school, and it was like in the middle afternoon because it was an all-day show. And me and George are literally the only ones running into each other, spinning around and throwing each other. Like, we're, being the only two dudes in the crowd.
I have a picture from that show.
And the Short Bus Racers, they're like, after they were done playing, they're like, fuck yeah, dude. Remember, what's his name, Scotty?
Oh, the guitar player, right?
Oh, fuck yeah. That was fucking rad, man.
Dude. All right. Before we go, dude, because I don't we've been fucking talking for a while. But before we go, I want to get a couple of stories from you guys. Maybe it's the same story, maybe it's different. But there's going to be two. What was like the shittiest place that you played a show at, dude, first of all? and if you remember the name better, dude. And second, dude, what was the shittiest show you had where like shit just went wrong or something fucking bad happened?
Well, unfortunately, I've had a lot of those, the second ones, but I'll answer the first one. Me and George were in a band, and we were called Fell on Red. And George was the singer, and I was the drummer. And we played at this place called the Peanut Gallery.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And man, I don't remember which show it was, but we played a show there, and literally nobody was fucking there. It was just like the owner, her name was Irma, her husband was bartending.
And they were trying to offer us drinks when we were like little kids.
Yeah, we were literally in high school. And then there was nobody there. There was like three goth dudes in the back of the bar. In retrospect, they're probably back there doing coke. Just minding their own business while these little shitty fucking kids were playing their shitty fucking music. That's probably one of the shittiest places I've ever played at. So Peanut Gallery.
What about you, George? Do you agree, or do you have a different story?
I enjoyed the Peanut Gallery personally.
I did too. I'm just saying. Like, if we were to take a time machine and jump back in time and go watch ourselves play, I would probably go outside and smoke a cigarette.
No, dude. Fucking we played a show in Marfa at the Last Horse Saloon or some shit.
The Last Horse Saloon.
Yeah. And they were not down with us. The owner. Like the crowd was actually pretty decent, but the owner was not down for us at all.
Yeah.
He was literally booing us, and then when we were like, this is our last song, he's all like, good.
That's a badge of honor, dude. That's a badge of honor.
And we played there twice, and he was the same way both times. So that's probably the worst place.
I remember you for the first time.
Yeah. That's probably the worst place I played. The worst show I've probably played was I can't remember what it's called, but there was a temporary bar venue across the street from Kiki's on Copia. You remember what that place was called? Chris James was running it for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we played a show there once, and I got tore the fuck up. This was when I was doing Bleats, and I fucking sucked, but I had a blast. But
I don't want to get a spit take, dude.
The worst show I've ever played. Like it was a fucking train wreck, according to everybody.
Yeah, dude, I had the same experience as you, because that's why I brought this up, because I'm sorry, I'm gonna put Philip on the fucking. I'm sorry, Philip. I'm sorry. Apologies.
No, don't put him on. Don't put him on because his mustache is more luxurious than mine.
Apologies. No, but apologies to him, because check it out. I don't know if you guys remember this shit, but you guys remember Chick's Bar, right?
Yeah.
So for a moment there, they had a side place there, the Lair.
Yeah, the little tiny one.
Which was like a fucking hallway. And I remember we were playing, the fucking bar was packed, but where we were playing the Lair, dude, it was fucking empty. There was like nobody, dude. And it was me with an endless fight, but it was when it was Alan, Philip, and me. And me and Alan, the bassist, we used to drink a fucking bottle, one of those big bottles of Jaeger every time that we were going to play. And we were fucked up. Me and Alan by ourselves were fucked up, dude.
Many a night with that bottle of Jaeger, too.
And when we played the fucking show, dude, people, well, like the girlfriends, because those are the only people that were there, told us that we were playing fucking slow, dude, like really slow. And I thought, dude, I was like fucking, like playing like so hard as shit. And then Philip, dude, tried to step on stage from the back, because he was trying to get people from the back to come, like from the bar to come. And when he went in to like step onto the stage, he fell into the stage, dude, face first with the guitar like this, dude, like,
Fuck yeah.
and
rock and roll, man.
It was a fucking terrible show. Philip was so mad, dude, at us, because like, you guys are just fucking getting drunk. You guys are not fucking taking this shit seriously. We're like, oh my god, dude. Like that was the last time I ever fucking drank before a show, dude, because it was just like too much, dude. And then the worst like place that I've ever played at was this place in Cruces. I don't even know what the fucking name of it is. But when we got there, dude, they're like, yeah, there's a stage right there. And I was like, all right. And it was fucking like pitch black, dude. And we were like, okay, so turn on the lights. And they're like, oh, there's no lights. And we're like, how the fuck are we supposed to play? And they're like, I don't know. We're like, are you fucking serious, dude? We had to go to like fucking whatever fucking like shitty ass store they had in Cruces for like hardware or whatever. And we bought like $200 worth of fucking like floodlights, which left us like fucking penniless, so that just we could fucking have light at the show, because there was no light, dude.
I remember the one time I played in Las Cruces. I want to say it was with Manbear Pig. Did we play in Las Cruces, dude?
That house party with all the fucking
It
weird
was like a weird
mannequins.
house show, right? It had like a hot tub or a jacuzzi in the middle of the living room.
Yep.
And then there was like these like mannequins
Dude,
like, all over the place.
Dude, I've been there. I've been there, dude.
And there was like a room off to the side that was playing like on a projector some real fucking hardcore porn.
Dude, I went to that place for an underwear party.
Wow. Whoever's been to that place, just so you know, that was a weird place to fucking play at.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that was a weird place just in general, dude.
I remember, like, we all went to like the backyard, and you guys were smoking like a shitload of weed. And I remember, I think I was driving or something, and I smoked a bunch. And I walked into the middle of the room, and I was like, I'm fucking stoned out of my butthole right now. Dude. The contrast was like everything, even the kitchen was weird. Like everything about that place was like phenomenally like weird.
Dude,
so, like,
do you remember the one rule that they had at the tea lounge?
At the Texas Lounge?
Yeah.
They had a lot of rules.
Well, the one rule that was stupid.
No moshing.
No moshing, dude. I fucking hated that shit, dude.
Jim Ward was from that era where you're like, no moshing, man.
That's fucking retarded because, like, we went to see As I Lay Dying, dude. Come on, dude.
I was there. They kicked out like 20 people within the first song.
Well, because fucking Tim Lambesis was like, you guys better fucking mosh and shit. And then, like, kids are fucking, and they were, like, taking him out.
It was the same way when I went there to go see this band called The Bled.
Yeah.
The only reason I went because the band opening up was like one of my favorite bands at the time. They were called Classic Case. Classic Case.
Whatever. You guys listen to bad music.
No, it's great music. I stand by that.
You're a poser. You're a poser. No, dude. So
and that Boy Train to Vegas show was there. That was a good show.
Remember Pretty Girls Make Graves, dude?
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, but why I brought this shit up? It was because of that fucking scene in SLC Punk where they have the show, and it reminded me of a lot of my friends, like the way they were. Even Bob being like, I gotta go do something, and he just wants to get in, and like
I gotta go do something.
Yeah, and he just wants to sing with the band and shit. And then like the bouncer gets his ass kicked by fucking by Mike. So it's like it reminded me a lot of like No Man's Land, when that shit was happening. It reminded me a lot of
that show in SLC Punk reminded me of the shows at E9 because it was just like a big open space.
Yeah,
with nothing in it. And it was just a stage, a big open space, very minimal security, very minimal supervision.
I have a story for E9. It's really quick. I went to see AFI with Hot Water Music and Bleeding Through, and we were in the crowd, and I asked the fucking bartenders there for water or whatever because we were in fucking in high school, but I had a fucking cup full of like fucking ice. And I remember it was fucking hot as shit there at E9 because it's like the middle of the summer. And we were throwing ice just like for people or whatever. And
Dorgan would never turn on the AC, dude.
Yeah, dude. But dude, I grab a cube of ice, dude, and I fucking throw it, and it hit some dude in the head, and then it went into some girl's eye. And the girl started like, and the boyfriend like looked back and he's like, who the fuck threw that shit? Like he was all fucking mad and shit. I was just laughing, man.
Don't throw ice at shows.
No, I was a fucking kid, dude.
Follow the story. And kids, if you're watching this, if you get ice from the bar, give the bartender like $1.
Yeah, something, dude.
I wish somebody would have told me that when I was like a little kid going to shows, because like I would go to the bar all the time and I would ask for water and I would never give these dudes anything. And then fast forward to like where I am now, I'm just like, damn, dude, you can't even give me $1. Like it's busy as fuck, and I'm giving you a fucking cup.
Yeah,
of water.
I remember.
Wait, Neon has that fucking water like self-serve.
No, I know, but like,
and you don't even allow kids into Neon.
Do you remember? Remember in La Tuya they used to have the fucking ice water, dude. At La Tuya, dude.
That dirty fucking igloo with the. I could almost 100 guarantee you that if you drank water from that shitty orange igloo, that they never cleaned it. There's probably like bacteria growing inside of that motherfucker.
Well, I mean, did you see
coronavirus?
Did you see how La Tuya is, dude? It's fucking. It was disgusting.
That's probably why I haven't gotten coronavirus, because I ate hamburgers at Cantina La Tuya.
Those are good hamburgers, though.
Remember, they would make it with their hands and shit. And like me and George, like we got a burger there, and I looked at George and was like, "Hey, I don't think that dude washed his hands." And George was like, is he supposed to? Or I forgot the fuck he said. I was like, and I'm just like looking at this guy make my hamburger, and I'm just like, well, fuck it, dude. And it was the best fucking burger in the world.
So okay, so what was the best show you've ever had, dude?
Oh, the best punk show?
The best show you ever played, whatever it is.
Oh, I don't know. Can't say, man. I've had like a lot of good shows, but
Yeah.
since we're speaking of Cantina La Tia, I'll always remember that Tio Solazo. That was a good show.
But you didn't play that show.
I didn't play that show, but the show that I played, oh man. Can't say. Up in the air. I'll pass.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some good shows. It's hard to pick like
a good show like that.
Yeah. I think mine. I mean, yeah, I had a lot of good shows too, but one that stands out the most for me is when I opened for Dead by Stereo and Agnostic Front. That's when I got this fucking tattoo, because I was gonna open for Dead by Stereo, and it was my fucking birthday, dude. So when we opened, we fucking did that shit, and then afterwards, I think
I saw Death by Stereo at Cantina La Tia too. Was it Death by Stereo, or was it like Murder by Death or something? No, Death by Stereo.
Death by Stereo. Madcap.
Madcap, that's right.
That's what you were telling me the other day, dude.
Fun fact: this shirt is old enough to drink beer.
Wow, is that from the show?
Yep.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
I'm flexing because that's the hip word that kids say these days. But I'm flexing. I still fit into my high school shirt.
So they should make a movie. They should make a movie about us, dude. The ELP Punk.
ELP Punk. It would be cool, man. It would have like Spitch. It would have At the Drive-In. It would have fucking BBF.
Yeah, throw in.
I wasn't a fan, but it would have Spoiler. It would have Trouble Bound.
6 Under Par.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess. But no.
Yeah, bro, Soma, dude, fucking. Rome Never Rises. Tonight is Glory. Remember Tonight is Glory, dude?
I do not remember Tonight is Glory.
None of those things. No offense to Mike and all
the Wrecking Ball.
March of Chronos.
Yeah, we go with March of Chronos.
Hank of the Destruction Moose.
Yeah, we can fuck with Garrett's band.
And then let's fight, bro. Come on, man. 10 years. Fuck.
What? Aside from the Recovery Mission, and the Recovery Mission's fucking old. They've been a band since like a long time.
Dude, Fixed Idea.
The oldest. Okay, and aside from Fixed Idea, and aside from the Recovery Mission, I think Anela's Fight is the longest lasting fucking punk band. In El Paso, right?
Yeah,
Reese's
dude.
Monkey.
Huh?
Reese's Monkey.
Reese's Monkey. Yeah, Brett and Risa, they're still around.
Yeah, they were. Fuck yeah. I remember you guys. Oh, the Maximus. The Maximus has been around forever.
Maximus. Yeah, they've been around.
Their most recent lineup is pretty solid too.
Useless Kid.
I never really heard too much of this.
One time I was going to see the Maximus play. It was at Neon Rose. And they canceled like last minute.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You remember? Who remembers the Junkyard?
The A&B Junkyard, man.
Dude, do you remember Wednesday, dude?
Wednesday, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That
was the shit.
I have that CD. I still have that CD.
I used to love Wednesday, dude.
How about Augustus and What Scene compilation?
Oh, you know what? The What Scene El Paso Scene compilations are on archive.org.
Oh yeah, Rudy put those up.
Yeah. Dude, they're pretty bad.
And Rudy has both of them. There's 2 compilations.
Go download them.
I mean, there's a few bangers.
Put the link. Rudy from the Recovery Mission, Rudy Marquez. He's
a historian.
A really excellent archive document file. It's like Reddit, but for like music, and he has like a lot of good stuff.
Well, send me the link so I can fucking put it on the description, dude.
Yeah, we'll have the Creep put the links in the description down below. But if you want to discover what El Paso music sounded like between like 1997 and like 2006 or 7, all that music is there and it exists.
He's got the 710 Records comp on there too, and that's a good one.
I've been meaning to go over because he wants to transfer over the Fla Fla's records, the Egon records, the Purell records, the Dios Kilos records, the Thieves of Always, the Universally Covered, the Siva, not the Mosaic of Sleepers, but the second one that never came out that I got from Mikey. That all that stuff I've been meaning to go over to Rudy's and have that uploaded into the archive. That's actually something that maybe me and George can like consider doing, going through like our old music and
your own archive.
I've been meaning to ask George. I lost the Trouble Bound CD again, so if I can have a copy of that, huh?
It's on Bandcamp. Yep.
The only things I have, dude, are like fucking old like pins and patches of like all the old bands.
That's the thing, though. This document, the archive.com document, whatever you're looking for, it's probably there. And if it's not, it's like 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like it wouldn't take much for Rudy to get his hands on that music.
And if you were in a band like back, like even like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, dude, I feel like us, like to the point where we can't say what we were ex-members of because it's so fucking long, dude. Because you'll be like, ex this, ex
like 5 bands.
But essentially, my phone's about to die, so
let's end it. But with that said, dude, like thank you fucking guys for joining me and for telling your stories, especially about here in El Paso in the punk scene. I think that it's pretty important to fucking, value those stories and have them because they're fading away, dude, and I don't want us to fucking just disappear,
Let's be honest, like, a lot of who we are, came from Salt Lake City punk, man. It was such a movie that inspired our sponge-like little brains when we were little kids in high school.
Yeah. This was pre-internet. If you did not have a cool cousin, if you didn't have a cool cousin that fucking showed you the Damned, the Dead Kennedys, and all that shit
on a mixtape and shit,
this movie was your introduction. This movie was your cool older cousin.
All right, how about we end with like our favorite quote from the movie?
Okay, you first.
George, go first.
Me? All right. My favorite quote from the movie, I'm gonna have to say is I said it was my favorite quote earlier, so I'm gonna stand by it. Sink, you fool!
Sink, you fool! You fucking stupid bastard lake! Sink!
Shooting at the Sink, you fool! Mark is my favorite character, probably, dude.
He's great.
Yeah, I love dude. That's the epitome of the perfect cool rich dude that you want to hang out with.
All right, Reggie, what's yours?
I've always liked when he's going the dude's going down the escalator. He's all like, "Anarchy in the UK."
Anarchy in UK. Fuck's that?
No, you reminded me. I think I have like a runner-up for that because like when he's with his parents, he's like, so finally I turned 18 and I can finally say fuck.
But for the first time in my life, I'm 18 and I can say, fuck you!
And then the dad is like, hey, for a record, I didn't sell out, I bought in.
I bought in.
There's so many good quotes. There's so many good quotes, guys.
All right, so let's fucking end it like right away. We can talk a little bit afterwards, but let's end it right away. And I want us all to say the same shit that we did right now with the fuck you. But before we go, remember to click like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to George from the Glitter Tacos right now, right?
Yeah.
Thank you to Reggie from fucking Table Manners. And Neon Rose, go fucking support. I know that right now we're closed,
Neon.
but let's fucking hang on. And thank you guys for joining us. And with that said, now we did turn 18, and now we can finally say, fuck you! Later, bitches.
That is good.